Message number 2 for Hanukkah. A little light pushes away the darkness. We light the menorah during the darkest time of the year. We know that now we're in the pit of winter. As dusk is falling, the sky is turning black. Yet we have the power to light up the night. And Hanukkah comes to light up our lives. There are times in our life that we feel as if we're immersed in challenges that we can't seem to get out of, that there seems to be no antidote for our difficulties. It's easy to fall prey to despair. It's easy to fall to the Yetzer Hara and to his Yush. He wants to bring us down. The Hanukkah lights are calling out to us, ladies and gentlemen. They are telling us, see how a little bit of light can push away the darkness. Our job is to never despair despite the circumstances. Never lose hope. We must hold on to our emunah. And for that we have to turn to a star in the week's parsha, and that's Yosef HaTzadik. Yosef was the son of Yaakov and Jacob. There he was in jail, put there, incarcerated on trumped up charges. Even so, he accepted his plight in the jail with happiness. And it wasn't a jail like we have today in the American jail system or a European jail system where the prisoners are in jail but they're given all types of liberties and they have Wi-Fi and televisions and computers and can even earn a degree online. No! A jail in ancient Egypt was a hole in the ground. That's it. You were lucky if you were alive, and there you were incarcerated with rapists, murderers, and thieves. Yet nevertheless, Yosef walked around. The Midrash tells us he was a jumping man. In other words, he was accustomed to singing and dancing all day long as an inmate. How could he act like that? As a Hebrew prisoner in a cruel Egyptian jail, he trusted in Hashem, and that's the key. That's the message of Hanukkah. Despite how bleak it looks in our life, we have to trust in Hashem. And he believed that everything was for the best. By virtue of Yosef's cheery disposition, the prison warden, took a liking to Yosef and placed him in charge of all the other prisoners. He said, you can have the keys to the place. You can do whatever you want. Yosef literally did whatever he pleased, whenever he pleased. The minute the heavenly decree sentence was up, Yosef was rushed out of prison to become the second most powerful man in all of Egypt. And he went on to rule for the longest period for any ruler in the history of our people. 80 years. No one ever ruled to that amount of time as Yosef did. Suppose that Yosef would have lacked the munah and he would have moped around in his prison cell with a long and sour face complaining about his lot in life. Hashem's presence would have departed from him. He would have fallen into depression, and as a result he never would have been released. He would have been there with a bunch of thieves and animals who would have literally done horrible things to him. And as we know, many of our great rabbis have been in prison, yet they never gave up hope. And we learn from Yosef HaTzadik that despite the circumstances in our life, we have to hold on to our faith. That Hanukkah comes to tell us that in the midst of darkness and despair, our lives can change in a second, keherif ayin. And that's important.